World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
Live from Soul City. Good morning, community. Good Morning Community is a platform where members of the community can find out more about small businesses, artists, entrepreneurs, members of our community, and community-based organizations. Also, how to get involved, how to connect online, volunteer, or donate, as well as some of the resources and services they provide. At Good Morning Community, we offer encouragement, share resources, and we encourage you to hold yourself accountable. And most importantly, we genuinely want to see you win. My name is Eartha Watts Hicks. I am the CEO of Eartha Tone Books, publisher of Love Changes, Graffiti Mural, and a planner is a girl's best friend, as well as a freelance writer, editor, and PR writer and affiliate for blackpr.com, executive editor for Harlem World Magazine, and a longtime member of the Harlem Writers Guild. I am your host, and today we have a special guest. And today's special guest is a dear friend of mine, UN Ambassador Sherwin XL. And UN Ambassador Sherwin XL is a dynamic, multi-hyphenated entertainer, actor, comedian, host, recording artist, indie casting director, and master of ceremonies, a lifetime honorary member of the WBC World Boxing Cares and BCW Celebrity Correspondent. He is known for his vibrant energy, versatility, and cultural impact. Sherwin XL is celebrated as the king of introductions. Sherwin XL is a Brownsville, Brooklyn native, and he has collaborated with industry icons and appeared in award-winning films and documentaries. And he continues to electrify stages, screens, and global events committed to entertaining, empowering, and elevating audiences through his artistry and his heart. Welcome, Sherwin XL. Good to have you. Glad to have you.
All right. Hey, Eartha, how you doing? So, I gotta give the intro. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and entertainment lovers of all ages, I am now and forever will be glorious son, the only one, the ordinary, extraordinary, and the greatest boom boom baby of them all, Sherwin XL. I'm live here with Smith Eartha Watts Hicks on Good Day Community. So, what's up?
Hey, Sherwin. Wow. I mean, I still remember the day we met, because we met at the Black Expo.
Yes, and I was hosting the entire thing when it came back. Yeah.
You were hosting the Black Expo. And that was the year that they had the stylistics were there.
Yes.
Really, really big thing. And
comedian Nethia Hayward, Rashad Bashir, Testimony was there, Vicky Love. They came and tore it down. I had a great time. It was a family affair for me, and I went around and made sure that I went and talked to every vendor that day.
Right, and I was just getting ready to say that, because that's how you and I met, because you went from table to table and introduced yourself to every person vending at the event.
Like I was running from there. Yep. Hey, vote for me.
personally introduce yourself. And I remember when you walked over to me, I said, oh wow, you're a professional comedian. You said, I most certainly am. And I said, well, I have a bunch of corny jokes I can give you for free.
Oh yeah, you did say that. I was like, no thanks. I was like, you can take those corny jokes and you can go on stage yourself, and I'll be applauding you. How about that?
But who knew the worst joke in the world would start a 14-year friendship?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, we locked in, and then then I found out you were friends with Nithya, so I was like, oh, this is family automatically, you know.
So yeah, I mean, a small world, because Nithya and I went to the same high school, but like 10 years apart. So
Nice.
you know, it's funny how we connect and we meet people and become family, but you never know where you're going to meet someone else you consider family. So that's the beauty of community and the beauty of people like you who introduce me to more people like you. So that's a blessing. I would like to know, because I don't think I ever asked you, what brought you to the field of comedy and entertainment? What drew you to it?
Well, initially, I'm not even gonna lie. As a child, I used to be very, very, very shy. A lot of people don't believe that when I say it, especially after that introduction. I used to be very shy, and when I was a child, my teacher used to hear me because I loved cartoons, I loved comedy, watching, Red Fox, Richard Pryor, the Three Stooges, Abbott and Costello, Laurel and Hardy. So I watched that, and I used to come back to school doing these little, hey, you big dummy, and hey, baby, it's like sweetly. So the teacher used to hear this, and one day she sent a note home to my mother. I thought I was in trouble, but no, she sent a note to my mother saying that, hey, I want your son to play a dentist, but I want him to talk in the voice of Tony the Tiger. So my mother's Trinidad and Tobago. My mother was literally my first acting coach.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So she was teaching me how to put forth my personality and then do the impersonation of Tony the Tiger. So I had to say, when you brush your teeth 3 times a day, it keeps your teeth looking great. So I did that. And then I kind of started having no fear on stage after a while. But then when hip hop came along, forget it. Between acting, hip hop, and then, finally going out to dance at Bentley's and Demararas and the Shadow nightclub, my bravery just got so brazen. It was a wrap. Being around fellas like Bush Babies, Cellar Dwellers, Breeze Ever Flowing, which led me into, I was rapping back then and freestyling. And then from there, one of Wyclif's cousins heard me rapping on Hot 97 with Grandmaster Cass and the Furious Five with my boy Breeze Ever Flowing, who was somebody I used to freestyle with. And then Mr. Man from Bush Babies introduced me to Mos Def. I wound up opening for King's Son under Soul Feet Deep, which my boy Glenn Foy Stewart used to do shows for Brothers, which I think is now Brothers for Finances or something like that in NYU at the, what was this place? It was with the Lyricist Lounge. So I was in hip hop, and then I got into R&B, and then when that, I think when the group kind of disbanded, off of a bet, I got into stand-up comedy. When God was like, I bet you ain't gonna be funny because I got these ears, and at the time I had a little flat top. So he's like, whatever, Martin. So God was messing with me. So I said something funny to him. He's like, I bet you wouldn't be funny on stage. So we made the bet, and I got the bread. But then the most biggest thing was that I surprised myself. And it's still on YouTube. My first time ever on stage is on YouTube. You type in Sherwin XL, just Sherwin XL, Caroline's on Broadway, and you'll see my first time. I'm in a red, black, and white, which is Trinidadian colors, red, black, and white shirt. And I come out and I surprised myself big time. And the guys that were at Caroline's on Broadway, I think one of the managers, he said, how long you been doing this? I was like, this is my first time. And the guy was looking at me like, you're a natural. He's like, you are a natural. He said, you have it. Because I did a lot of crazy things on stage, from watching Eddie Murphy. I was doing the Stevie Wonder thing, and then I turned it into a Elvis impersonation and did something with a puppet. So it was crazy. And then the guy was like, he was mad as hell. He was like, yeah. So and then after that, I have to say thank you to some more, because when I was became alumni graduating from the comedy class, which was Larry Amorose and Mike Irwin. Especially Mike Irwin, he told me, he said, "Hey, because I loved Bernie Mac, Robin Harris, Robin Williams, Eddie Murphy, Red Fox. The list goes on and on, and but he said, who made you want to do comedy? I said, well, Murphy and Bernie and Robin Harris and Robin Williams, but most importantly, the person that really made me want to do it, because I went through a breakup at the time, and the person I was talking about breakups at the time was Sam Kinison. So he's like, let your inner Kinison take over, let it out. So I was like, get the energy out, man. I was like, okay. And it's been a wonderful journey since then, and I still rhyme here and there. Like if you go on my Instagram, I put out this recent song that I did, which I got inspired when I did The Last B-Boy. I played a Don Cornelius type of soul power. It was a show called Soul Power. Don Cornelius is Soul Train, but my character is Don Orpheus of Soul Power TV show. Because Andreas 13, he was messing with me because I got my friend Robin Lynn, aka Robin Paris of Robin Lynn Cosmetics, to play a character named Hot Pants, and he was messing with me because he said the day before, a couple of days before, he was like, this scene, I should go into the TV and make a Soul Train type thing, but he couldn't get the rights to it, so he said, I'll make up a parody of it. He's like, who could I get to do it? And then one day I'm in a trench coat and I'm walking to the set with Robin, and Andreas 13 he's like, hey Don, and so I said, love, peace, and soul. So he's like, that's it, you're the character. So I got into that, and I got into the acting. But back to some more. I have to say this about some more. Around 1999, 2000, after I did Caroline's on Broadway, and I did, I was like, dang, what should I do? And she told me, she said, well, you should go see this guy named Angelo Ellerby, and at the time he was working with DMX. Bloodline Records, and he was also teaching rappers etiquette, how to be, if you're going to a business meeting and you're sitting down for dinner, how to have business etiquette, and what knife and fork and spoon to use while you're sitting down having dinner with executives. So he sat down with me, saw my first time on stage, and he looked at me. He said, "Okay." He said, "All right." You said you have. He said, "You okay? You have fashion going for you." He said, "You speak well. You enunciate. You're not the step and fetch it type." He said, "You're smart." He said, "Okay. All you need to do is probably go to an acting school." And he told me to go to Weiss Barron School of Acting, which later on down the line, it linked me with my mentor very deeply, because he went there too, but he went in the New Jersey one. So from there, I have to applaud and thank comedians some more for that. I really appreciated that, because when I went there, I got bored after I finished the acting classes, and even with Bat Johnson, who does stuff for commercials, I went to one of his classes, and I was like, damn, what do I do now? So what's the one thing, I'm going to ask you this question. What's the one thing everybody is afraid to do or can't wait to do in New York when you're in entertainment, anything in entertainment? What's the one thing, and what's probably the one place?
Broadway, live on Broadway.
Close. The Apollo Theater.
Oh, okay.
So I got all that. I still had like 5% of shyness, but I said, this is the Apollo. Legends have been here. And then I went, auditioned, made it. And they were telling us, hey, never give up on yourself, because Luther Vandross did this like 7-8 times, something like that. And then he finally won. So they were like, I was like, what? I said, Luther? I was like, yeah, because if you look at like some of the videos, Lauryn Hill, they booed her.
Oh, yeah, Boo
Dave
Lauren.
Chappelle.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle. They booed him. So I was like, and look who they are and where they are. They kept on going. So that influenced us, and I did it. And something strange happened to me when I was on stage, because some of the young people were being a little disrespectful, but the older folks probably my age, because I was a dad, they were yelling at the youngsters to shut up, let him talk. Like, so I was like, wow, I'm causing commotion here. so didn't win, but I got a big win out of it. And there was a talent scout that loved my performance to the point that he wanted me to meet this lady out in Reno, Nevada. Shout out to Patricia Brown. And when I talked to her, she was, feeling me out, whatever. And she's asking me questions like, how do you feel about the Jackson family? I said, I love the Jackson family. I grew up on the Jacksons, and I love Michael, love Janet. And she's talking to me. Then she called me again. And she said, okay, we want you to be involved in Joe Jackson's hip hop boot camp. So I'm like, I said, "Ooh, Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5 father, the patriarch of the Jackson 5?" And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "He's doing hip hop." Wow. And at first I was like, "Yeah, it's Lady Lion." So, but then she proved me wrong, and I got to meet Papa Joe. Met him, worked with him, and I became the pre-show host for it. And I I connected him with Rock Me TV. Shout out to Nicole Marie VP and Phil Londrico from Rock Me TV, and they did some shows together. And it was great. And then from there, I met another gentleman named Anthony Andre Jones, and he introduced me to the man who became my mentor and changed my life, Harris Haith, the author of the book Growing Up Laughing with Eddie Murphy. Okay. And he let me work with his mentor, who is two-time Emmy Award winner, the man, the legend, the media legend, Bill McCrary. So, and for those of you who always remember that great commercial he did for children, he's like, "It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?" Yeah. So So I learned from Papa Joe, learned from Harris, I learned from Bill McCrary, and then I met some, from that time, a wonderful person put me in her book named Eartha Watts Hicks. Yes. Yeah. And then yes. There you go. Yeah. And then somebody followed you in your footsteps. Young lady by the name of Kishoy Entertainment. She put me in her book that's about entertainment. Wow. And that book I'm on page 11 and page 141, telling people how to get into this industry, how to get commercials, whatever it is that they want to get into. And and thank you for putting me in your book as inspiration to folks. Thank you so much. I'm always going to be grateful, because Harris said to me, he said, she immortalized you. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, that book will always be here. And when you're long gone, when all y'all are gone, that book will always be here. And people like Sherwin XL, who is this? And then, it's locked in. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah. So that's been the walk. And like music, I still mess around with music. I became an ambassador for Koblock's clothing, which this is one of his jewelry chains, whatever. And Marvelous Buchanan, when you go on my Instagram, which is it's now UN Ambassador Sherwin XL. When you go there, you'll see the setup for the last B-Boy film being in Berlin, in the Berlin Liftoff Film Festival, which is of course Berlin, Germany, that's phenomenal to go international. Just like I went international years ago for the BET commercial for the game, which was incredible. And I'm still like, wow. Oh yeah. And shout out to my boy, Elwood Legat. He was the one that told me about it. And he was the one that introduced me to Phil Londrico and Rock Me TV for me to bring the Joe Jackson's Hip Hop Boot Camp there. So I can't forget names, and I cannot forget saying thank you to the people who helped build my journey here and there. So and I've met like some great people. And then while working with Harris, we met a gentleman by the name of Archie Snowden, who he remembered me, and just like you said, my personality just pushed out, and he was like, "Listen, I'm doing a documentary," and he put me in it. And if you go and if you type in Long Island Legends of Underground Hip Hop, you'll see the trailer, and I'm in the trailer, and I'm the only comedian in there, and I due to the fact that I'm a comedian who actually raps, and I create songs. He put me in there because if you go on my Instagram, you can hear a song called "Soul Power Back" that I got inspired to do because when I was doing the character, I said I'm going to do some deep study. Like I wanted to do a deep study where I watched the movie American Soul. I watched Don Cornelius hosting. I met Billy D. Williams actually, and also one thing that I was telling a lot of people, Billy D. Williams and Bill McCrary had this. They had the same kind of cool, same time. It was so funny because I met Billy D. Williams for one day, but I worked with Bill McCrary. Bill McCrary they got this. What did they call it back in the days? This cool breeze thing about them. And because Bill McCrary, if you ever watch Bill McCrary do a report or talk, you'll see what I'm talking about. These kids these days call it swagger, but I call it soul power. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I know I have a character in one of my books, Rymel Goodwin, and whenever I need someone to portray Rymel Goodwin in a public setting and voice the character, you actually do an exceptional job of Rymel Goodwin, and you channel this cool that even if we're somewhere else doing something else and you'll revert to the Rymel character, I'll crack up laughing because you'll catch me off guard every time.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you. Yeah, we had a great time working with the daughter of two of my favorites, like Ruby Dee and Ozzie Davis, which I never got to meet either of them, but you gave me something that like I didn't meet. Like I tell a lot of people, Sherwin XL, the name, Sherwin, my mother gave that to me, but the X and the L, I took the X from Malcolm and the L from MLK, and that's the unknown love and respect that I've had for the both of them since I could remember knowing the both of them. And then as the word excel, as Sherwin excels, I want to help other people excel. So that's the whole meaning of that.
Oh, wow. Okay. And I could see that because you're a beacon to artists and entrepreneurs like everywhere. And then you also connect the dots, which is, there's so much to love about you, Sherwin, but that's one of my favorite qualities about you is if you know two people who are doing something similar and need to do that something similar together, you definitely make that introduction always.
Definitely. That's another reason why I connected. And I got to give a shout out. The reason why I became a United Nations ambassador is just because of what you just said. Because so special shout out to UN ambassadors, Dr. Monica Sanchez and Ambassador Prey of the Miss Carrot Calm International Foundation. They saw how I was treating people. They saw how I carried myself, and they were like, "Hey, you deserve to da 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 da." And then most importantly, like over the years, like I think it's been over 10 years. I got an award, a citation, because I saved a little 9-year-old girl in front of Donnie McClurkin's church from being assaulted and abducted by two men. And somebody caught wind of it at the Roosevelt Public Library. I think it was Mr. Robinson. And he told some folks, and that's how I got the citation, and I received it. And I have to give a shout out and a double salute to Brigadier General George A. Jones, who was a World War II hero. Rest in peace now. There's a statue of him like right outside the Roosevelt post office. And anytime I go by, I actually, it's so crazy because usually you always see statues of people that you never met, but I actually met the man when the statue was erected for him, and he gave me an award, and I was just like, wow, from Barack Obama too. It was my brother's keeper initiative for what I did for saving a little young lady. So I have to sit down and say thank you to everybody that had something to do with me moving forward. Or it's like I can't forget names. There was an actor by the name of Al Burgos who instilled in me. He said, XL, let me tell you something. A lot of times people forget what you do for them, so don't forget what people do for you, okay? So I was like, okay, I got you, Al. So, so that getting that little reminder from him, I have to say thank you to a lot of people. And if there's anybody that I haven't said thank you to, hit me up and I'll make sure and shout you out. Because I went to a school called Weibo, work in business organization, and learned some business things from them. And I think they recently did maybe like 2-3 years ago, they came back to check on me, and they did a report on me. So I want to say thank you to Weibo for reaching back out.
Wow, I heard of Weibo. Weibo was one of those organizations that was big around the time when Project Enterprise was big and doing the thing. They were like sort of parallel organizations doing something similar, each in a different way, but definitely something similar. So,
which I think is one of those things that help skyrocket and springboard entrepreneurships a lot.
Right, because that's how Nithya and I met. We went to the same high school, but we met through Project Enterprise. And after meeting through Project Enterprise, I actually was reading her like chapters of a work in progress. And she introduced me to the work of Issa Rae through YouTube and the early episodes of her series.
Okay.
That's how Nithya and I, but we're both members of Project Enterprise. So it's like when you have your own business or when you're an artist, sometimes it's like we have this grandiose vision of what this dream is and how we're going to make it happen and how we're going to make it big. But before you get to that place, you need community, you need information, you need resources, and people are those resources. You need other opinions, you need other advice, you need motivation, so just keeping yourself surrounded by people who are in a similar journey keeps you motivated, because you inspire each other to keep going when the going gets rough.
Like Billy Ocean said in that song, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So you got to keep going. Definitely got to get going. Oh, I'd be amiss if I didn't say this. I have to give some wisdom that I was given from a couple of people. One was from the one and only DJ Wiz from Kid and Play. He always told me, because I was thinking about quitting a couple of times because I met a couple of fakes, frauds, and people trying to rip people off, and I didn't want to deal with them, and I was getting disheartened. And he said to me, DJ Wiz said, whatever you do, keep moving forward. He said, don't worry about it. All these fakes and frauds will fall off of you. Just keep moving forward. So I kept moving forward, like he said. And then DJ Wiz, thank you for that. If you're watching, and DJ Evil D of Black Moon, I mess around with his voice sometimes. Like, shut. He's like, stay real and don't worry about it. He said, in this industry, there's people like you and me who are real. Then there's people behind us who are scheming. And there are people behind them who are thinking of scheming. And there are people behind them who are dreaming of scheming. But stay real and you'll be all right. So I never forgot that from him. And then, of course, my mentor, Harris Hayth, he said to me, if you're ever feeling disheartened, you want to quit, you want to stop, he said, be still, meditate, and remember the whole reason why you took the first step in this industry. And he said, look back at everything you've done from step one, midpoint to now, and that should reinvigorate you and reignite you wanting to do what it is that you're doing to keep on going. And then Bill McCrary, his thing was, I'm here to help. And also his moniker was, if you don't know, learn. Once you learn, teach. Each one, reach one, teach one. And mine is, no matter what, when it comes to business, be there to be helpful, respectful, so that you all can be successful together. And no matter what, in your personal and your business, if people's level of love and or loyalty are not on your level in your life, they have to leave. Plain and simple.
Wow. I say something a little bit similar, or actually it's almost exactly the same, but just different words. I say, grab a hand and take one. So get yourself a mentor and then get yourself a mentee. And as you learn, impart that information to the next person, the next artist, the next generation that's coming along, because we all need help.
Yeah. Because somebody said to me, there's two ways you look at people. Either look down and you're with a scornful heart, or you look down with a good heart and you pick them up.
Yeah. I'm going to say this. You're probably my favorite comedian, but in this new world of new comedians, who is the comedian or comedians? Name three, because I know you have different reasons for favoring three comedians right now.
You're gonna make my head explode. You know that, right? Well, you know what? I'll do this. Out of favoritism, because he gave me his manager's number years ago when he was hot and on fire when the show was out. Dave Chappelle. Oh. He gave me his manager's number years ago when I let him take a look at my video, because I was asking him how to get a manager, and he was like, "Hey, you funny, man?" I was like, "Yeah, take a look." And he looked at he's like, because he had a cigarette in his mouth. He's like, all right, you got a pen? So I wrote. He wrote out the manager's name and number, and sadly, I took it home. You know, like how you take the pieces of paper and you put it up in the corner of your mirror. I did that. What was it? Thursday night when I saw him, because he was at the time Caroline's on Broadway when it was still around. The loading dock area is where I got to talk to Dave, and he gave me the information. I took it home. And I did a double Thursday and Friday. He told me to call him at a certain time. So I'm looking around for the thing. I'm like, I'm moving my dresser. I can't find it. And I'm like, at the time I was married for 2 years, and my wife, I was like, "Babe, did you see the paper Dave Chappelle gave me?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I got it." So I was like, "What'd you do with it?" She's like, "I flushed it down the toilet. I ripped it up." I was like, "Why'd you do that?" He's like, "Yo, you ain't leaving me for no white girl." Yo, I swear. And you know the sad thing is, years later in my comedy book, it was in the back. It was in the back of the book, because I usually keep on forgetting. I'm careful like that. Sometimes sometimes you write down. No, I had it, but I forgot I put it in a book. I put it, like how you have those Mead books, those old school Mead books that look like, you got the black and white. I forgot that I took the number, like I had it on paper, and I wrote it down in the back of the book, and I forgot I did it. So, because I was so mad, like, why would you rip it up? Because I thought that was the only thing I had, So I wasn't thinking, okay, I'm like, I'm going to call that number. It's right there. And I just forgot that I put it in there. Years later, which was, matter of fact, it was like almost 2 years ago before she passed away, because she passed away in a car accident. And, but I will say this, she granted me a wonderful, wonderful gift in my daughter, and now my daughter has a daughter. So she granted me something, regardless of that situation. She granted me something wonderful that I'll always have, and that's my daughter, and now my granddaughter. So, I forgave her, but it was just, and then, and the thing about it was when I got to work with Joe Jackson, she was like, "Oh, you F that BITCH." I was like, listen, I know the story and the legend of, the longevity of a black man's, stuff, but I can't stretch from here to Reno, Nevada. Okay. I'm not Plastic Man or Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four. I'm like, come on, man. But, I will say this, when it comes down to it, you got to tell people, hey, you gotta maintain and love what you do and keep it going,
Yeah. I have two confessions, but I'm only going to air one, and the other one I'll tell you separately and apart. I had Tupac's autograph on a dollar bill. You noticed the operative word there was "had," right?
Oh no, that's funny.
So that's the one I'll admit on air, and then the other one I'll tell you separately and apart. But sometimes we don't realize that something as simple as a piece of paper or a dollar bill or whatever could literally be life-changing, or if not life-changing, could be just a memorable piece of memorabilia.
Yeah. Can you hold on for 1 second? Mm-hmm. I'm going. Shit went out on me.
Well, one thing I will do is I'll mention in the meantime, thinking of a master plan is a planner, calendar, date book, journal, and it also has a diagram of a check, how to write a check, how to endorse a check, and the rudiments of personal banking. And I feature Sherwin in this calendar date book as an independent artist. There's also budget sheets, and I encourage individuals to have multiple streams of income. But this is one of those undated planners that the gentleman could grab a copy of and keep track of their daily lives and keep things going and keep things organized. So all your information right in one spot. And there's also in the back end pages for you to put your contact information in the address book and
Can
a
you hear me?
password lock, because nowadays these passwords to these websites can one, get lost or forgotten. And you know how it is trying to get back into
Okay, can you hear me, Eartha?
I can hear you, Sherwin. Yeah, so I was telling everyone a little bit about thinking of a master plan where I feature you in
Oh
a
man, I
nice.
cannot hear you for some reason. Now
Oh,
this phone's like
okay. Well, so what I will do, Sherwin, since you can't hear me, is I will read from this book. Sherwin, can you hear me now?
wow.
You can hear me? Okay, so Sherwin can't hear me. So this is my novel, Love Changes, and what Sherwin and I have done for several different audiences. Once during the 10-year anniversary of the novel Love Changes is we acted out a scene where I had taken the Mia character and Sherwin had acted as the Ramel character, which he voices wonderfully. And thank you to the assistance of the Harlem Writers Guild, who had done a production off Broadway. We were able to do the same scene off Broadway for We Be Living, which was the Harlem Writers Guild's off Broadway production. So to connect with the Harlem Writers Guild, visit their website, www.theharlemwritersguild.org. To connect with myself on Instagram, I'm at Eartha Tone, and Sherwin is on Instagram at UN Ambassador. Sherwin XL on Instagram. He's also UN Ambassador Sherwin XL on Facebook as well. Right. So that's how you can connect with Sherwin on Facebook and how you can connect with me on Facebook. And I'm at Eartha Tone everywhere. So that's how you can connect with me on social media. Now, a little bit more about Sherwin. In addition to being a dynamic individual, Sherwin also connects those in his network to different resources. As like me, an author, he'll connect me to vending events. He'll connect me to librarians, just because the librarian knows Sherwin. So he'll say, "Hey, Eartha, hey, I have a friend that's a librarian."
Okay,
Sherwin,
can you hear me now? Can you hear
I
me?
can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it was a little low, but I had to put it in my headset. There was some type of problem. I don't know. But anyway, I'm back.
Okay, Sherwin.
Yeah, because you always like, you know. By the way, I always loved one thing. You always said to me, you be like, "How you doing, my fine, funny friend?"
Oh.
I'm like, what's she talking about? I was like,
Uh-huh. You know, so yeah, that's definitely my line. You know, and then I also tell you, me and Nithya, we fight over who's a better friend to Sherwin. Like, he's my friend. No, he's my friend.
But y'all silly.
You know, and there's more in the crew, like Q and Natasha, and you know, so
Dewan, which she now has a name, Dewan the homie. You know,
the one's a homie.
Yeah, she named it, because like that was the homies were African women
Right,
warriors.
the woman king.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she locked in with that, and I was like, oh, you know what, Dewan the homie. I was like, okay.
Okay.
I used to call it Dewan the Boss, you know. So
Oh,
yeah,
forget it. And to see the two of you dance, it's like y'all have the whole club standing
yeah.
around
Her
watching
song,
you.
her signature song is what's that oh my gosh, what's that? Oh my gosh, no, um, ooh na na na. I forgot the title, the name of it. I forgot the title, but it's like this African song is like it's like one of those Afrobeat songs.
So Sherwin,
Yeah.
what does 2026 look like for you?
Oh well, yeah. So far, 2026, we're going to be doing some shows with Miss Caricom International, being led by the one and only Ambassador Prey, Ty Box, under Dr. Mama Sanchez, but led by Ambassador Prey and myself, and my brother OG Mac with Triple OG Entertainment. I'm a MC and talent scout for both. And of course, with Recombination Wrestling, I just did a comedy show. So shout out to everybody I did the comedy show with, especially like the ones that I've been working with for so long. Like Paul Mooney introduced me to a young lady by the name of Christy Miller. So shout out to Christy. Shout out to two comedians that have been with me since I started back in the day. I had a place for like 5 years. It was called Janelle's First Friday Comedy Series. And I always go to, anytime I have a comedy show, somebody says, hey, I want a comedy show. I want Testimony and my boy who's been with me from day one, Mo Black, which there are going to be some folks that are going to come here on your show as soon as they can. I got to get Testimony up here. I got to get Christy Miller up here for you. So I'm sending out everything I can to everybody. But 2026, definitely doing some shows with them. Or gonna have them locked in doing something with me. But for 2026, like I said, which is a great birthday gift, because my birthday is on the 21st of this month, Black History Month. And one thing I celebrate on my birthday, unfortunately, February 21st, 1965, Malcolm X was assassinated. So I always pay homage and love to Malcolm X on my birthday since I was a kid and I found that out. But for 2026, the last B-Boy, as I said, is going to be in Berlin, Germany, at the Berlin Liftoff Film Festival, February 24th to 26th. Shout out to the one and only Andreas 13 for putting me in there as the casting director and as an actor, even though it started off as a joke. I surprised myself, pushed myself, and I even did a song called Soul Power Back that you can hear on my Instagram. And then also Archie Snowden is dropping it here in 2020 summer, I think June, spring, summer of 2026. He's bringing the Long Island Underground Legends of Hip Hop documentary to film festivals all in Long Island, and I believe there's going to be in Harlem also. So it's coming to your town, Harlem. We coming Harlem. So yeah, so that's what's going on for now. And some shows. Oh, I'd be amiss if I did not say that BCW, Recombination Wrestling, is going to be at 200 West 41st Street on the second floor at Next Legacy for a Tekken 7 tournament where we're going to have fans, BCW faithful and fans of wrestling period versus the BCW wrestlers.
So the wrestlers are going to be wrestling against actual fans?
On the video game only.
Ah.
Video game fighting. He's like, so what the hell? He's like, I love you. Bam, take that clothesline, son. Take this elbow.
I was like, wait a minute. All right, let me sign up and get a lawyer at the same time.
Nah, just video games. Video games only. That's it. No more, no less. They're going to be fighting Tekken 7 tournament. Anthony Cole has merged with them, and it's going to be something else. It's going to be something else. On the 20th, which I'm going to be celebrating my birthday too.
And that's the 20th of February.
Yeah, that's a Friday. Next week, baby.
Okay.
That's here in New York. And anything else that may come to mind? I really
when I get a chance, I'm definitely going to work on my documentary, so about my walk and who I've met. And I definitely will do it as well. I already have my friend Vanessa Blake agreed that she wanted to be in it. And Vanessa is
Yes.
actually Vanessa is from, she's the one that was in Dave Chappelle's.
Yes, I know that. Yeah,
Yeah,
Vanessa.
yeah, when she got licked in the face, like celebration, like so, so she's the one that got licked in the face by Dave Chappelle. But she has a lot.
Oh.
But here's the thing: she has a lot of other things. She's a life coach now, so she has a lot to offer. She talks.
Yeah, she's actually an amazing life coach.
Yes. I can't wait for her to get on your show. Can't wait. Actually, she called me today, so I'm going to reach out to her. And then also, there's a young lady by the name of Kelly Brown that was on The Wire, and I'm going to try and get her.
Now, The Wire is one of my favorite television series, and I still watch it. I have the box set, so
so definitely, I gotta tell her about this, and I'll send her this, and she'll see. Oh, he mentioned me, so definitely gonna try and get her up here too.
Yeah.
So for that, I gotta give a shout out to Nikki Sunshine and Jimmy Roberts.
Comedy in Harlem.
Yeah, because last year I headlined over there, Fresh Faces. So I had a great time. Doing that. And shout out to Melissa Green who did something called.
I'm sorry, the name I didn't catch. If you could lean in a little closer.
Yeah, Melissa LaQuesha Green. We did a comedy show a while back. It was called Love is a Battlefield, which she let me help her create that name. So shout out to her. Like I said, I have to look back and say thank you to a lot of people sometimes for these interviews, so they know, hey, I have to, even though, as people say, life is lifing, but I ain't gonna be forgetting this life is lifing to say thank you for your contribution in my life that you brought to me.
Wow. So, I knew you know everybody.
Almost, yeah. My friend Lady G, so she calls me El Presidente because she said I know everybody. And I was like, no, I don't. But it's so funny. Like I'll tell you. Oh, let me give you an example. My brother, Ambassador Prey, is cousins with Angela Elby.
Oh wow!
So you see how that works? I'm like, wow. I said, no way.
I think I know Angelo. Was he once a songwriter?
I'm not sure, but he has a book now. I just always knew him for fashion stuff. He was doing fashion. He was helping a lot of hip hop artists, get etiquette, and learn table manners. And that's when Samore told me to go see him. That's when he told me to go to class, go to school. Ursula was the president of We Span. So shout out to her too. She passed on. And We Span School of Acting is still going in Atlantic City. So if you're in Atlantic City, go there.
Weiss Barron in Atlantic City?
Yeah, Weiss Barron School of Acting in Atlantic City. Got to give them a shout out, definitely, because when I went here, the young lady named Valerie, I went to my classes, and it was great. It was great.
I know at some point I wanted to connect the dots between you and some of the poets that I'm connected to through the Harlem Writers Guild, as well as some poets.
D Black, I know D Black. That's my boy. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but I think we worked with each other actually because of Eartha. We got to work with each other because of Eartha at the Black Box Theater.
Gotcha. So
and shout out to the Black Box Theater. Because it's like so many Tracy Moore. She's a great person. When I was a radio host, radio co-host at Urban Latino Radio, DJ Lopez, my mentor came up and she came up as a guest, and we got to interview her. So shout out to Tracy Moore. She's a spirited actor. Is her show.
Now, Now I know you do voiceover for I'm gonna say this. You every so often you'll send me clips or YouTube or videos or emails.
Oh yeah, I won an award. I won an award on Spotify. Yeah.
Now
that was unexpected. That was unexpected. If you go on Spotify and you type in Sherwin XL, that's it's called Crime Story. Yeah, so
Crime Story.
Yeah, I won unexpectedly. I was like, what?
And that was an audio book, wasn't it?
I was narrating and also I was doing multiple voices on that.
Yes.
Actually, it's more narration on that. I was doing multiple voices for the Knights of Avalon, where in the second episode, I'm doing multiple voices, like the King Arthur, Merlin. Then the guy liked it so much he brought me back for the end. I have like a little part where I'm being Merlin, and it's like, do this, knights, and blah 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 blah. So,
right, because it sounds nothing. It sounds nothing like you, but that's what voiceover is.
Yeah.
You know, it's very dramatic and very gothic, and it has like all of this. It feels like someone from a totally different part of the world speaking during a totally different time, maybe the 18th century or something, but it does not sound like the man I'm looking at right now.
I attribute being able to be a parrot from either watching other comedians do it and then also watching cartoons as a kid, because watching Tom and Jerry or Bugs Bunny and all this other like Mighty Mouse and all these other like cartoons that I got to see reruns of, they hit me. Like I just would like you see these little commercials like I said, like Tony the Tiger, they're great. You see these things and sometimes they get in your head. And as years ago, my dad was watching a rerun of I think it was what's the guy's name? Wolfman Jack's late night special or something like that. And I always loved Wolfman Jack's voice. And I used to hear him like, hey baby, this is Wolfman Jack. And then when I heard Randy Savage's voice, he reminded me. And I actually got to meet Randy Savage when he did a hip hop. Oh, by the way, if you guys haven't heard, look up on YouTube Randy Savage Remember Me. He's rapping on there, and that's the best song on his album that he did, rest in peace. And I got to do his voice in front of him, just like I did Paul Mooney's voice in front of him. So if anybody,
can I get a little Paul Mooney?
Now, why do you have to be an entertaining Negro to people? Why, Eartha? Why? He's like, wake up, Negro, wake up. Oh, and I gotta give a shout out to Rashad Bashir, because he's been doing Paul Mooney's voice and Kubaba Ice. Matter of fact, Kubaba Ice is in the film with me in the last B-boy, and he actually plays Red Fox. And
did you ever meet Red Fox?
No, I wish I would have read, but I read one thing I did. I read Bernie Mac's book, and he said that when he met Red Fox said to him, he's like, you're funny, too funny. What you need to do is dig down real deep and give people something real. There's no telling where you can go with this kind.
Wow.
So Bernie Mac, I think Bernie Mac, when he got that advice from Red, that's when he started doing the stuff for kids, which we got.
Yeah.
So and then here's some advice from George Carlin that I think not only goes for comedians but goes for all people and all genres of entertainment. And that is, when you see somebody else performing or doing what you do, you shouldn't be jealous of that. You either have to look at them in 2 ways: either no threat, or if they're that good, you should up your game. Period.
You should what?
You could up your game. Up your game.
Oh, up your game.
Yes. Because I get what he was saying, because he said when he heard Sam Kinison, Sam used to be always yelling all the time. And he said, if a chiseled veteran sees somebody new and gets inspired, that's where he said he started raising his voice a little bit, but not screaming like Sam. And Patrice O'Neal was a great person. It's so funny. 2 people I asked for advice. I I asked Paul Mooney for advice, and he said he looked at me. He's like, I said, hey, can you give me advice about comedy? He's like, you're a comedian. I said, yes, sir. He's like, keep doing what you do. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing, and they'll find you. They're always looking for an entertaining Negro. And I went to go shake his hand. He's like, I don't shake hands. I don't shake hands. You can give me a bump. I was like, okay. He said, I don't know if you have a venereal disease in your palm. I'm like, oh. I was like, yo, what's wrong with this dude? but I watched that guy for a long time. Got to meet John Witherspoon, he was cool, and oh yes, and Dick.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that last one.
Yeah, Dick Gregory and George Wallace. I was at Dick Gregory. I think his last birthday was 84th birthday at Caroline's on Broadway, and he said to me, "Hey, anytime you see injustice, talk about it. You know, because you have to make people look at things, have to be silly, sensitive, and serious about what's going on." I'm not really one of those into apologizing for what I say. I'm like, look, if it's funny, it's funny. As long as you're not hurting like you're really making somebody really hurt. Because there's people like Andrew Dice Clay, who, if you're going to go to his show, he's messing with you. You know that's what he's going to do. He's like you decided to dress like that and came here and not thinking I'm going to say something. You're sitting in the front. Get out of here. So if you're a fan of someone's comedy, enjoy it. And if you're not, don't watch. Because it's like I'm so tired of hearing this one's apologizing for saying something. Now I can understand if you're saying something really nasty, like to somebody's feelings. But if you're just being funny and you're making people laugh, let that be it. Let that be it.
Okay, now Sherwin, I'm going to need you to lean in and say this loud and clear so that our listeners can catch every word.
Okay.
Where can we connect with you online? What's the best platform to connect with you? And how can we find out more about what you're doing?
Okay, well, the number is there, 347-792-9475, and the email is sherwinx70@gmail.com, or you can reach me direct at Instagram, and it's /UN Ambassador Sherwin XL, and I'm right there.
Okay, are you on TikTok?
I'm on TikTok. I don't really
Sherwin?
like that, but I'm on. Somebody was just calling me. Yeah, I'm on there. I'm on TikTok.
Okay, so you're on TikTok as well.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay. Well, Sherwin, thank you for joining us. And
thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome, Sherwin. You're welcome. And thank you for the friendship and for the advice and for the jokes and for lending your talent.
You're so welcome. And I congratulate you on having this show. Continued success. And shout out to Double M. He knows who he is. Shout out to Matt McCoy, man. Thank you so much for having me. This is wonderful. And I can't wait to get some more people for you so they can meet you and have time to come on this show and let you know who they are and share what's next.
Oh, and one more thing, Sherwin. For those who are watching and listening, how would you like for them to support what you're doing?
You can reach out to me and look online. If there's anything that I'm doing, like for instance, we're gonna have a lot of things coming up with my boy George McLean, Triple OG Mac. He was in Eddie Murphy's Coming to America Part 2 movie. When Eddie gets beat up by his daughters, he's the guard that puts the cape on. And with Triple OG Entertainment.
Now, what movie is that again?
Coming to America Part 2.
Oh, Coming to America Part 2. Okay.
Yes, he's in that. And anything I'm doing, like I said, with Ambassador Trade and boxing myself, we're going to be doing some things in Times Square and also on Atlantic City. So anybody can give me a call if you're an artist and you're interested. Give me a call. And I need all genres, everything, all genres. If you're a dancer, I don't care if you rock music, gospel, reggae, soca, Afrobeats. If you have a new genre of music, bring it on down. Let's see what you got. And that's about it. No more, no less. And if there's anything that's coming up with me, if I happen to do a special show doing stand-up comedy, I will let you know. It'll be online. If you're a comedian, you want to reach out to me, reach out to me. And, especially if you're up and coming, I will, give you support and push you as best as I can, like I did with two other young ladies I got on the Wheel of Fortune, like testimony I got on the Wheel of Fortune. A young lady by the name of Nicolicious, which she won $14,148 in a trip to Ireland. So
Wow.
you never know what can happen. And Testimony did something very, very legendary. She got Pat Sajak and my wife laughing so much at Pat Sajak. He did something that he never did in 40 years, and that was he pulled Testimony over to read the cards of the other contestants. And he said, man, he never did that with anybody. So that's just to let you know that's the power of laughter.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Sherwin, and as always, thank you for being part of my community. And I value our friendship.
Oh, I gotta drop this before we run. I wanted to say that Lori Shara, shout out to you, and Habiba Washington, shout out to you, because my very first time of ever doing like acting, casting, directing for actors. If you ever look at the movie American Gangster and you see the boxing match and you see the Sammy Davis Jr. look-alike and the young lady that's supposed to be like an Eartha Kitt type, I did that. I got her. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So that's an exclusive. That's the first time I ever talked about it. So you got that exclusive.
All right. So for those who are out there who are aspiring actors, again, Sherwin is a casting director. So reach out to Sherwin and he can help plug you to an opportunity. And again, thank you for joining us, Sherwin, and have a wonderful day.
You
as
too,
always. I appreciate you.
All right. Good morning, community.
Later. Thank you so much for joining us today, artists, entrepreneurs, nonprofits. I see you out here saving lives, building community, and creating your legacy out of talent, ingenuity, and resourcefulness. You're doing it all the best way that you can, and that passion is infectious, and the struggle is real. Tell me how hard it is to find your audience, and we might have a whole conversation. Join me on Good Morning Community. If you're interested in being part of the show, reach out via email to earthatone@gmail.com. Also, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to subscribe to Soul City Network on YouTube. Join our subscribers, reach out via email, and you could be part of the conversation as well. Goodbye and have a lovely day. Thank you.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.